everybody. I'm Sarah. Some of you might know me and my husband. We've been traveling the world for the last 5 years and making lots of games, including my post-apocalyptic strategy game, Rebuild. Sorry. So I'm working on the third Rebuild right now, and lately I've been thinking a lot about sequels. So when I used to think about sequels, it was, AAA games, the FIFA games, the blockbuster videos where it's the same dude doing the same stuff as last summer, but with bigger explosions. And, I've wondered why there aren't more indie sequels. So is it because, they're not very sexy, or it's not that much fun to work on the same game again? Am I a sellout to make sequels? I keep thinking about these things. Maybe it is that we think that our fans don't care about the game, they just care about us, and they will follow us to the next game. But I've found personally that this is not always the case, and sometimes you just kind of get lost. So a few years ago in Mexico, my husband and I had just released a couple of games that were not doing so well. The fans from our previous games just didn't seem to be interested in them. And I'd released a hip-hop themed word game called Word Up Dog, and that did not go well, as you can imagine. So we were looking at our budget and wondering if the next game we made was going to be our last game, so I decided that it was time to make Rebuild 3 at that point. So sequels are a big bag of money that you just have to bend down to pick up. You take something that works, and you do it again, and it will fund your next more fun, more sexy game. But there is more to it than just the money. There's a lot of reasons to do sequels, and I didn't realize that until I started doing it for myself. So the way I did Rebuild, the first one was almost like a prototype. It took 3 months to make, and I released it on free Flash portals. It did super well, and I did make some money off of it. The second one was a bigger game. It took twice as long to make. I had help from an artist, and it was a mobile game, and that also did well. But it was, it was a little bigger. The third one is a PC downloadable game. So it's a sequel, but it's also part of this Trilogy of Scale. So what I'm saying is we all do prototypes. Prototyping is super valuable, but I think that more people should be polishing, releasing, and maybe charging for our prototypes so that they can help fund the full version of the game. So building on every game and planning for the sequel also really helps with feature creep. So personally, I have a seriously hard time cutting features or saying that something is just good enough, ship it, move on. So for Rebuild 1, I had this huge long list of all the stuff that I wanted to put in the game. I had all these great ideas, but I needed to prioritize all this stuff and put a line in the middle and say everything from there down, that is for the sequel. So at the time, I had no idea if I was going to do a sequel. It was my first game. I didn't know if it would be successful, but at least I had the chance to finish it and find out if it would be successful, because I found a place to end it. So I knew that it was going to work out when the fans started sending me their suggestions. So right away, the Kong forums were filled with like, oh, you're going to make another one? Please do. Here, you should put this in it. I even made a wiki where they could all organize their ideas and get excited about, what would be in the next game if I could make it, if they could make it. So Rebuild is a great contender for sequeling because it's a sim game, and you can just keep adding new ideas, new simulation, new breadth and depth to it. It was also really natural that I do a Kickstarter for the new game when I did it, because I had this whole community that was super excited and really wanted to see the sequel and wanted to be a part of it. They were so excited to put their faces and names and stuff in the game. So I'm not saying that everyone should do a Kickstarter or a sequel for that matter, but if you are going to make a sequel, you should really think about kickstarting it. Early access works for the same reason. So I really saw the power of the fans last fall when we were at PAX Prime. So I have been feeling a little burnt out, if you've talked to me lately. A little, the game's a little overdue, and I'm a little sick of working on it. But for 4 days at PAX, we were in the mega booth, and people just kept coming by and saying, oh my God, Rebuild, I know that. I've played so much of it. Oh my God, you made that game? Like, can I shake your hand? You know, tell me more. Is this the new game? What's going to be in it? The love, you know, it really reminded me that I am making people happy, and that is a very important thing for me as a game developer. So yeah, I'm a bit burned out. I have my days, and I've been crunching on it. But all 3 games combined for me have been about 4 years of work. And anyone who's just worked on one game for 4 years probably feels a similar way at the end of it, except that the entire time, the first 2 games are still making money, the early access is making money, and the fans are sending me their ideas and their love every single day. And I totally wouldn't have had that if I had just been in a closet for 4 years making this one game. No. No, not rebuild. Well, I mean, maybe. We'll see. All right, thank you.